They didn't tell me when I interviewed for the job that it was the most haunted theater in Britain. Like, that should have been on the ad, right? Wanted. One out of work actor to work too many hours for not enough pay at the whims of the general public and a spirit or two. Minimum wage, no experience necessary, and therapy not included. You know, it burned down a bunch of times apparently. They taught us that at college. We had to do this theater history course, and apparently the old theaters were huge fire hazards or huge health and safety hazards all around, really. So maybe I should have expected there to be ghosts if all those folks probably died really horribly in all those fires. There's this one story about a manager in the beginning of the 19th century, Sheridan, I think his name was, who was sat at a coffee house as the theater, and all the sets and costumes went up in flames because he said there was nothing to be done about it. And I guess that's just how it was in those days, right? I don't know if any of those ghosts are from the fires. No one does. I don't think so, but surely. Anyway, it's probably my second day, maybe third after training. I was by myself in the upper circle bar cleaning up after the interval. Maybe one of the others was there, but I really don't think so. Everyone always took advantage of the breaks to get a smoke, but I didn't smoke, so I just got to it, I think. I'm sure no one else had stayed behind. It was a busy Friday evening. Half term, maybe? Loads of groups getting in as many drinks as they could, like in the few minutes left when they once they plowed their way to the bar. The place was a mess, like half empty glasses clinging with dogged tenacity to sticky half moons, crumpled crisp packets hiding in the furthest, darkest corners, straws and limes somehow scattered all over the tabletops. Why don't they just say no to the fruit rather than digging it out and then dropping it wherever comes handy? That would save us all a lot of trouble. Anyway, I started hauling like glasses back behind the bar as the opening number of the second half. I can't even remember what show it was. It blared tinnily out through the closed doors of the auditorium, and I'd done a few trips, and the glass washer was starting to fill up when I felt something on the small of my back, like a push of some sort. It was it was barely there, but it was enough to make me jump. And as I jumped, I don't know how it happened, but one of those big paintings, it just came off the wall. It just fell away from the wall, just like that. Those big pictures of scenes from past productions that decorate all the West End theater bars. Yeah, we've loads of those in Drury Lane, from all kinds of things over the centuries. There was a muffled crash that sounded anything but muffled in the silent emptiness of the bar as the glass front of the painting connected with the worn carpet. It was right where I'd been standing a moment before. I will I'm never gonna forget that sensation of a hand on my back, but I swear there was no one else there. But that wasn't even the worst that happened. Like, that was nothing to what happened a few weeks later. The giggles had finally died down from my fellow front of the house workers who either totally didn't believe me or were masking their own terror behind jokes about my blaming my clumsiness on a ghost. But they should have surely known, right? Anyway, it was after a matinee, and I was clearing the boxes at the front of the dress circle. And I'm going to go on a tangent here, but like something about being physically separated by walls and curtains from the rest of the theater seems to make the audience members feel like they can just treat the whole space as if it was their own house. Like, it's always such a mess. At one point, I paused from stuffing rubbish into a bag and I looked across the empty theater. It was all brightly lit. The house lights were up, so we could see every last morsel of rubbish left behind for us. Guaranteed there wasn't a corner left in the whole place. Nothing to make you jump at all. Not even look behind your shoulder. But I As I looked out over the empty space between the stage right boxes where I was, and the opposite side where I knew someone else was facing a mess of the same size, something caught my eye. It was just a bit of movement off to the right in the upper circle where nobody should have been. I don't know what kind of fumes I'd been exposed to from all that rubbish left behind by the matinee audience, but I swear I saw like a historical court just swishing along the rows of the seats in the circle above me. One of those billowy things that you see in all the period dramas. I tried to focus on where the movement had been, but there was nothing at all. Nothing there. So on my break, I Googled London theatre ghosts just casually on my phone. And turns out, and this totally freaked me out. You're not ready for this. I almost couldn't go back to work that night. Thank God I was working the stalls. Ages ago, in the 1800s or something, they were renovating the theatre, right? And what they found in the upper circle, my God, I still can't believe it. There was a skeleton that was stabbed up there. That must have been what I saw, right? That must have there must have been some guy murdered up there who just keeps coming back, and I wonder what he wants. After the last time, I didn't want to tell anybody what I'd seen, but I was sure I'd seen someone in an old coat around up there. I was so sure. You know what? I wouldn't sit in the upper corner once the house lights go down. Mm-mm. Not if you paid me to do it.